welcome to the Final Picture Show podcast. I am Matt, and that is Travis.
Hey there.
Hey there, exactly. And we are here tonight to talk about The Colony from the year 2013, a movie that is a very generic title, as there are several things called The Colony.
There's so many things called The Colony.
You could probably apply the word generic to the movie entirely.
Oh, absolutely.
There saves you about 56 minutes of the review if you're curious.
I gave you everything I've got. Well, I know it's not a lot, but I tried so hard. All the time we spent, wonder where it went. Why must time move on? Why must we go apart?
Yeah, I'll start off saying this. I saved it, but we've been watching all these very interesting indie movies, very unpredictable. And then I started watching this movie. 20 minutes in, I was like, well, I think I already know what's going to happen. Not even 20 minutes in, like 10 minutes in, I'm like, I know what's going to happen to that guy. I know what's going to happen to that guy. And I know exactly what's going to happen to that guy. So,
yeah, this movie is very, very predictable. And let's just dive on in here.
Yeah.
So, The Colony was written and directed by a single man. Well, there's more than one writer. There's several writers, actually. But directed by one singular man. A man by the name of Jeff Renfro. And he has directed lots and lots and lots of TV shows, as well as some music videos. He's also a producer. Done some things like Sand Serpents, which is a TV show. Crash Test Dummies music video. Did one of those.
Which one?
Don't know.
Oh, that's good enough for me.
There you go. There you go. I saw Crash Test Dummies and my mind immediately went, whoop, don't give a shit, and skipped on to the next sentence.
But it could have been God Shuffled His Feet, and that's a good one.
In the back of my mind, honestly, like in the back of my mind, I remember thinking, I bet Travis is going to ask which song. And I was like, fuck it. Who gives a shit? There you go. Crash Test Dummies. Next time I'll remember.
I like my Canadian... I don't know what.
Speaking of Canadian, most of this cast and producers here are Canadians, continuing our foreign film tradition. I actually went through all of our movies what we've reviewed, which is almost 80 now, and a surprising amount of them are foreign films. If you include Canada in that list, if you do not include Canada as a foreign entity, as an American. Which I do. I think of their films as being foreign films.
I think of them as being foreign films, yeah. But I like a lot of Canadian stuff. I like a lot of Canadian TV. I love
Canadian stuff. We're going to talk about some Canadian shit here in a minute. So,
awesome.
Besides being a director and writer, he's also a producer. That's kind of probably where he gets a lot of his most of his money from, honestly.
Yeah.
His big production credit is the Chucky TV show.
I forgot that's a thing.
It's very, very popular.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the kids really like it. He did some writing on this, which this is one of those movies where it has 4 writers, and I don't know why. But here they are. So we got Jeff Renfro. We talked about him. We also have Sfyfy Roscoe. Not sure on the pronunciation there. Has written a lot of TV shows in Canada, including Spare Parts. Did that for a little while. Spare Parts, yes, sir.
I don't know if I know that
Next up is Patrick Tarr, who has also written lots and lots of TV shows.
Yeah.
Including Saving Hope. He did some writing on that one. That was a big one here in America.
Can I say that it makes sense that the writers come from TV? Because this felt like just an episode in a series, you know?
Yeah, this could have been a TV movie. It could have very easily been a TV movie.
It felt like an episode of Star Trek.
This is a movie that...
Specifically.
Yeah, this is a movie that came out to theaters to, I think, fulfill like contract obligations.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was like, hey, we got Bill Paxton, spoiler. We got Lawrence Fishburne, spoiler. So we have to put this out to some amount of theaters.
And that's the end of the well-known list.
Well, the other actors we will get into have been in some other stuff. At least 2 of them.
Well, yeah.
And the last writer before we get into the cast is Pascal Trottier. French Canadian, not sure.
Oh,
he is also a director as well, and has directed a lot of horror movies, including a lot of like Christmas themed horror movies. So
Oh, awesome.
that's kind of where he is known
That's
for.
his,
A lot of TV movies as well. So kind of similar to what you were saying there as well.
that's his, and I'm going to throw some fancy French word. That's his milieu.
Yes, exactly.
Is
Exactly. Well, let's get into the cast. That's probably the most interesting thing to talk about here.
yeah.
And I guess first up is we'll get into the Kevin Zegers. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, Kevin. He is the kid in Air Bud.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to shock everyone of our age group. I've never seen Air Bud.
He was the kid in Most Valuable Primate.
Okay, I also didn't see that one.
He was one of the kids in Mortal Instruments.
Okay, I think I did see that movie, but I don't remember it very well.
He's also in Dawn of the Dead. He was in Wrong Turn. He's in a lot of things. Kevin is. He's a very popular actor.
Yeah,
he's one of those actors that if you look him up, kind of like Seth Green, Jack Black.
Yeah,
he's like Leonardo DiCaprio. Or if you go back and look at what they were doing way back when they first started, you're kind of like, oh, he's that kid. Yes, he was in fact the kid in Air Bud. Amongst many other credits. We'll talk about him a lot as we go through the Wasteland journey because he will show up again and again and again. He's in the Dawn of the Dead remake, like I said.
Yeah, he was in Zoom, that superhero kid movie with
Tim Allen.
Tim Allen, that's right.
Yeah, he's in that. Yeah.
Okay, I went and looked at his.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's in a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, while you're looking, you can go ahead and look up Lawrence Fishburne because what's your favorite Lawrence Fishburne movie?
Oh,
because he is maybe this movie can really be divided into two halves. It's the first half is Lawrence Fishburne, the second half is Bill Paxton.
Yep, 100%.
And
I'm
both
sure
of them
that's how it
killed
was
themselves.
sold. Oh, that's right. I'm sure that's how this movie was sold to production companies or something.
Yeah, they could have filmed the entire scenes in a day. Like all of Lawrence Fishburne's scenes could have been filmed in a day.
Oh, absolutely.
The Paxton scenes could be filmed in a day. They only interact for like one scene.
Yeah.
Like you could have. This is an easy paycheck. They could have offered Lawrence like $25,000, and he'd have been like, "Fuck yeah, I'll do that for like 2 days of filming. I have to go to Canada for a couple days. Like that's fine.
It's fine. That'd be fine."
Yeah.
Looking at the Lawrence Fishburne,
the man that we will talk about again and again.
Oh yeah. Big fan.
One of these days, we're going to make a Hall of Fame, and he will be one of the entrants into the Hall of Fame, along with Mel Gibson, probably Kevin Zegers, the one we just talked about, a couple other ones up there as well. Nick Cage. There's a lot of actors that have quite the post-apocalyptic repertoire.
Oh yeah, I would say for Lawrence Fishburne, either. Like Event Horizon was really good. I really liked him in that one. Yes. Or, and this is just, I think I might be an idiot. Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Yeah, going way back.
With Cowboy Curtis.
Yeah.
That was
Cowboy
a lot
Curtis,
of fun.
Yes. I love him in a lot of movies. Obviously, the Matrix movies. He's kind of the best part of all of those.
Yes.
I really liked him in the Assault on Precinct 13 remake that they did. I actually kind of like
I haven't
that movie,
seen
that
one.
Ethan Hawke. It's not too bad for remakes.
Yeah.
He's also in Mystic River. That's a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
I have a personal connection to his performance in the film Biker Boys just because I went and saw that in a theater by myself because nobody else wanted to go. And after like
this story.
10 minutes into the movie, I realized why I was the only one in the movie. I was like, this movie is awful. But I sat through it, and that was my first
Boys
exposure
with
to
Z, so
Boys with the Z. Exactly. Oh God, Event Horizon, like you said, is a fantastic movie. Fled is kind of an underrated little movie there.
I like him in the John Wick movies too.
Yeah. Deep Cover, Boys in the Hood, going way back to you said, Pee-wee's Playhouse stuff. Kingdom New York is a great movie.
Yes,
he was in that one. Another movie he did with, I guess, him and Bill Paxton have two things in common. They were both in Predator movies, and they both worked with Arnold in a buddy cop movie because Bill Paxton was with Arnold in True Lies, and Lawrence was with Arnold in Red Heat, where he was the buddy cop to shit. Is it Belushi? Yes, Belushi.
That's right.
So
that's right.
Similar crossing of things there. Which I guess just gets us to the person we're going to talk about next, Bill Paxton, R.I.P.
R.I.P. the great Bill Paxton.
Love me some Bill Paxton. Yeah, there's a lot of Bill Paxton movies we could talk about. I guess this will be like kind of what we budgeted most of the time on the show for. So any Bill Paxton movies that come to mind that you're just immediately like,
honestly,
that fucking movie I love?
Twister is one that I watched so much back in the day when, like, on tape. We had it on VHS. And I think we wore that thing out because we watched it so much. And
that's a great one.
That was the one I could definitely quote a lot back in the day. I liked whenever he would, I mean, obviously Aliens. Love that movie.
Aliens,
him in that movie.
Titanic is a great one.
Titanic's a great one.
Yeah. He's very quotable in Titanic.
Yeah, he is. And I remember seeing that in theater. And
wearing the coziest looking sweater a man could ever wear.
Oh, I'm surprised I didn't just get a sweater after watching that movie. Because honestly, I've thought about it just because. God, what was that? Mighty Joe Young. He was in that.
Yeah, he was in Mighty Joe Young.
That one.
Yeah, I do. Did you ever see Club Dread? That kind of comedy horror movie he did with the Broken Lizard crew. He plays Coconut Pete.
Yeah,
Coconut Pete.
Pete.
Yeah. He's kind of like supposed to be a parody of what's it?
Jimmy Buffett.
Jimmy Buffett. Thank you. I was going to say we both can't blank once again on basic common knowledge.
Yep.
Yeah, I love Club Dread. That's my favorite of all the Broken Lizard movies.
It's
love
so good. I don't know. Have you seen Slammin' Salmon?
I have seen Salmon. I own
that
all
one a lot.
Movies. Yeah, that one was also very, very good. Yeah.
That one has one of my favorite quotes. Beer Fest is really good. Slammin' Salmon has one of my favorite quotes with Michael Clark Duncan, another R.I.P. He was like, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one, but they don't want to admit it. And I love that line. I use it so often.
It's true. Another, going back to Bill Paxton, another horror movie kind of in line with what we just taled about with Club Dread, but a little bit more on the serious side, is Frailty. I never actually
saw it. Yes,
that's one that I got to show my wife for the first time. She had never seen Frailty, and she didn't even heard of it before. And I was like, I was describing it to her, and I was like, it's hard to describe it without spoiling it because half of the description is the spoiler. So trying not to. If you haven't seen Frailty, you should see Frailty. It has a very fun twist ending that you maybe don't see coming, depending on how much attention you're paying to the film. It's one of those movies that rewards you for paying attention, for sure. Mm-hmm. Vertical Limit, he was also in. That's one I saw in theaters about the mountain climbing.
I never saw that one.
He plays a really good villain in that movie. In spite of the villain being, Mount Everest, but also Bill Paxton is the villain because you need more than one.
Oh, totally.
Like you said, Twister, Apollo 13, Frank and Jesse.
Can't believe I forgot Apollo 13.
Mm-hmm. Frank and Jesse, and then another Western, Tombstone, where he plays Morgan, who gets shot and kind of sets off in motion the whole showdown at the OK Corral.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Mm-hmm. I love that. I love Tombstone. You call down the thunder, well, now you got it. And then another one that goes back far into the 80s because he was in like Predator 2, Brain Dead, Next of Kin, Slipstream, a movie with Mark Hamill that we'll talk about in a couple of months, Near Dark, a movie that I have the poster of right behind my head currently. He was in a very memorable episode of Miami Vice, which I love. Commando and Aliens, one of the few actors to work with to show up in the Predator movies and the Alien movies and the Terminator movies.
That's right.
Because he is in all three.
He was in Weird Science. He was the
in
older
Weird
brother.
Science? Oh, yeah, he's in Weird Science. Yes, obviously Weird Science. That was maybe the first thing people really remember him with.
Right.
But before that, he was on Streets of Fire. And then a weird-ass post-apocalyptic movie that is also his last movie he ever did is a movie called Taking of Tiger Mountain.
Oh.
which the director and writer would then remake in the 2020s, which would be Bill Paxton's last movie he did before he died.
Oh.
And in that movie, he does Full Frontal.
Okay.
But it's also like a weird, artsy, post-apocalyptic movie. So we will definitely talk about Bill Paxton at least a few more times. He, like I said, his credits go back even in 81 as William Paxton. Ooh, fancy. He was in Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker, which is a funny little horror movie there.
That sounds funny.
And he's apparently uncredited in a underrated 70s kind of art movie called Crazy Mama, which is a early Jonathan Demme movie. So I'm not sure if he's actually in that or not. It says he's uncredited, so perhaps he is just someone gave him credit. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But Bill Paxton is it. Unfortunately, this is one of the last movies he would do. Sadly, he would die like about 4 years after this.
Oh man!
And some of the reviews of this movie at the time kind of commented on his inability to really move around. He had gained a lot of weight at this time.
Oh,
it's kind of started to kind of put on the pounds, as we all do.
Yeah.
And so this sadly maybe not the best use of his talents as he was exiting the world, but hey, you know, I'm sure they paid him pretty well.
I hope so.
Last person we'll talk about here is Charlotte Sullivan, who plays Kevin's kind of a female interest in the film.
Yeah.
She's been in a ton of stuff if you're a millennial, and a lot of Canadian things, lots of Canadian classics, including Puppets Who Kill. There's the one that I used to love to watch back in the day. Radio Free Roscoe. She was in one episode of that. One episode of Radio Free Roscoe. That's another one I used to watch along with Degrassi. Famous Jet Jackson. She was in a few episodes of that. Are You Afraid of the Dark? As well as Goosebumps, completing the hat trick. Yep. And she also had a small role in Harriet the Spy.
Ooh. So another
Charlotte
RIP.
has been all over our millennial childhoods.
Far out.
And several different things. So that's basically the cast of this film here, as well as the director and the writers. Let's get into the background. There's not a whole lot to talk about. This movie came out on September 20th, 2013. Had a budget of $16 million, and it made, because it was released to theaters, $500,000. So nowhere near it. Yeah, nowhere near its budget.
I was hoping it at least made its money back.
Yeah, nope, not quite. It was the first film ever to be shot at the NORAD closed down centers in Ontario, though. So there's that.
Hey.
As well as being filmed in Finland and in California. So kind of a quite expensive movie for what you and I both agreed. Kind of looks like a TV movie.
Yeah. I will
say came out.
It was like whenever they were at places, I was like, these places look nice, you know.
The interior shots look like any other post-apocalyptic movie we've watched. Yeah. It's lots of like pipes and tunnels of pipes and dripping pipes and and then the outdoors is really bad CGI, and there's some times where it's real out snow, but not very often, not as much as you would hope. The movies that this movie is desperately ripping off are twofold. One is 30 Days of Night, which came out in 2007.
See, that's kind of what I thought that it was going towards, is something like that, but
it just kind of stops. So 2007 is when 30 Days of Night came out, so quite a distance between that and 2013 when this would come out. As well as it kind of likes to borrow from 28 Days Later, which another movie we talked about already. That movie came out in 2002, so more than a decade before this.
That's crazy.
So those movies, it kind of heavily rips off, and I guess that's kind of the point of this movie. Is it's just kind of a Canadian ripoff of 30 Days of Night mixed with 28 Days of Later.
Yeah.
It's basically like, what if 30 Days of Night took place in a post-apocalypse instead of in Antarctica?
Right, instead of just a small town in a normal place, if it was a post-apocalypse and
let's not call them vampires, let's just call them ferals.
It's just regular folk who went a little wrong.
Yeah, and there's no source material this is based upon or anything like that. So because it's not based on any source material, it kind of reeks of just like it heavily borrows from everything else that came out before it.
Yeah.
In terms of how it's written, the way it's shot, how it's filmed, like every single part of this movie just borrows from other movies.
Yeah.
Maybe the first like meh movie we've talked about since Crash and Burn.
Honestly,
like it's not bad. Like this movie isn't bad.
It's not bad.
It's
like
not
I
bad
didn't.
At all. It's not unwatchable. It's not like so bad it's good.
No,
none of the performances are awful. Everyone's trying their best.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
It is fine. It is.
I'll probably never watch it again, but
exactly. Never come back to it. It is the perfect like 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10.
Yeah,
4.5. I would be concerned if anyone told me this was their favorite movie.
Yeah, I'd have to ask questions. I'd be like, "So, have you not seen another movie before? Is this the one like, you've seen?"
That's what I saw. Cause my wife was watching this with me, and she kind of was like, as we were watching it, she's like, "This just looks like 30 Days of Night," and I was like, "Yeah, it's kind of what it is." And I was like, "But if you hadn't seen 30 Days of Night, maybe you could appreciate this and be like, this is really good because it's not bad."
It's not
like,
bad.
I didn't leave it thinking like, oh, this movie was the worst movie I've ever watched or anything of the sort. It's just like, well, that was a movie I've watched.
Yeah, I sure watched that movie. That's my review.
And that's kind of the review in a nutshell. But here's a little bit more about what was going on in the world before we get over the plot and the Travis trivia. So this film came out on September 20th, 2013, which weird to come out in September. But hey, I would have pushed this movie back a little bit, maybe to like an October release, since it is kind of a horror film. But anyway, on that day, on September 20th, 2013, the U.S. House of Representatives decided to cut food stamps by $40 million. Hey!
Oh, no.
There you go.
Little.
And the songs at the time were a time capsule of 2013's pop. So this was like peak pop music at its most, I want to say, creative and unique and different.
Yeah.
All of these songs were in the top of the charts, and all of them are pop songs, and all of them are vastly different types of pop songs. So we have Katy Perry, Roar.
Oh, yeah.
Lord with Royals.
Oh, okay.
Blurred Lines by Robin Thicke.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate song.
Yeah.
Wrecking Ball by Miley Cyrus.
I like that song.
I love that song. And Hold On, We're Going Home by Drake.
Nope, don't know that one.
It's a pretty good Drake song. So all of those songs, it's one of his more poppy, like singing songs that he does.
Oh, okay.
But like all of those songs are all vastly different, and all of them are like pop songs. It's just weird to see, like 2013 is not that long ago.
Right.
And it's just such a different fucking world.
Right? No, that is.
And as two straight men, I think for a minute, or at least two straight leaning men for a minute, just for a minute, I think we should wax poetically about how much both of us love Miley Cyrus's Wrecking Ball album. Because I love every song on that album. I think that entire album is fucking flawless.
I'm with you on that one.
It's really, really good.
Well, and I don't have a lot of albums that are like that, but of them, I could count this one and Ellie Goulding's Halcyon Lights.
Like, I'm not a big, like, I don't really know much about Ellie Goulding. I'll have to look her up. But I'm not even a big, like, I love everything Miley Cyrus has ever done or anything like that.
Yeah, no.
Like, I don't really like Party in the USA, and I don't really like most of the music she does now.
The Weird Al version, Party in the CIA, that was a good one.
I have never heard that, but that sounds amazing.
It is awesome.
Lord. I have to listen to that now. No, but I, for whatever reason, that specific, like, Miley Cyrus album, the one where she was like, I'm shedding the Hannah Montana motif, and I'm, like, kind of doing my own, like, more adult thing, because we have similar ages at the time, and she's a little bit younger than I am. But, like, just kind of, like, coming into my own adulthood and her coming into her own adulthood. And then, like, her experimenting with all these different sounds.
Yes.
Which you see a lot of on that album. outside of just Wrecking Ball, there's a lot of deep cuts on that album that just are vastly different kinds of arrangements and stuff. And like I said, I don't know if she ever really did music that followed that. I'm guessing not, because I never really kept up with anything else she did. But for that one album, she was like, what if Kate Nash got really into electronica? And it was kind of fucking cool. And, I was into it.
Was it that there was that one song? Was it that Adore You song?
Adore You is a good song, yeah.
It kind of reminded me of that one song Avril Lavigne did, Back to Canadians.
Okay.
I'm With You, or whatever that song.
Oh, yeah.
I don't mean that they... I was going to say, they don't sound alike, but they kind of have that same sort of...
It's like a similar tempo.
They make me feel the same,
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
So,
I can see that.
I remember that album, and I remember liking it. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was like, I mean, it won a bunch of awards, and it's kind of gone on to some level of, I wouldn't say infamy or fame, but it's like kind of, the one that showed that she could do things outside of just Hannah Montana. Because at the time, like, that's all she was known for. Which was like, before that, I had no interest in anything she really was doing musically, because it was just, oh, she's the Hannah Montana girl.
Right.
I was like, okay, well, I don't care about that. And then Bangerz, that's the name of it. She put out Bangerz, and it was just full of some fucking bangers, honestly.
Yeah.
Like it was one of those albums that was surprisingly really good in spite of what some people might say. But yeah, some of the songs, Adore You was on there. You talked about that one.
Yep.
We Can't Stop. That was another big one that she did. SMS, which is the one featuring Britney Spears.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm. Wrecking Ball, Love Money Party, Drive, F.U., Do My Thing, Maybe You're Right. I love that song. And then Someone Else. Some and then the bonus edition also came with Rooting for My Baby, which was another really good song.
Yes.
As well. So some really good early 2000s kind of hip hop influence, electronica influence, pop music, which was kind of getting big at the time. So we're going to take a little break and come back and talk about the plot of The Colony. See you guys in a second.
See?
Imagine a world where time drifts slowly. A world where music carries you away. Experience
Picture Show Podcast.
Perfect soundtrack for your way of life. Direct from Europe, this multi-platinum collection has won the hearts of millions. Set adrift with the timeless pleasures of Tubular Bells. Or take a trip into the unknown with the X-Files theme. No other collection gives you the feeling of
Picture Show Podcast.
Moods. Call the number on your screen or send check or money order for the amount shown, plus shipping and handling. Rush delivery available. Call now.
USA. All right, next week we're going to be coming back to talk about Christmas Icestrophe. Not a movie by the Asylum, not made by the Asylum, but like a lot of Asylum movies, it was produced by the Sfyfy Channel. And God does it show. God does it show.
Can I tell you what's annoying me about it? Is
what's that?
Clearly they're trying to make it like a play on catastrophe.
Yeah.
Christmas Icestrophe doesn't get anywhere close to that for me. It just sounds like Ice Trophy. Like, it's not working.
Next week, Christmas Icestrophe. See who wins. Part of what are we watching? The Colony. That's it.
The Colony.
That TV show from 2009 about the people that have to survive in the post-apocalypse. Remember that one?
I remember that one.
I remember watching that one with you at the apartment. Do you want to talk about that instead of this movie?
Right? Well, that was way more interesting. And
that was way more interesting. This movie is, unfortunately,
it's
a tad on the mid side.
It's fairly mid.
It's a little mid. It's mid. It's mid. It's not bad. It's mid, though.
Yeah, I mean, we can kind of go over the things about it that I
think kind of sucks.
Well,
yeah,
it does suck.
What I was going to say is because you kind of go into it with some level of expectations because of Bill Paxton and Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah.
Which is like behind the scenes why I chose this movie. I was looking for like post-apocalyptic movies that were about like cold weather.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to talk about Day After Tomorrow yet. Right? I have that one planned for later on, right? So avoiding Day After Tomorrow. And then I'm like, all right, well, which is another movie this movie kind of rips off. We didn't talk about that.
Yeah.
But avoiding that movie, I saw this one, and I was like, oh, Bill Paxton. Oh, I love Bill Paxton. I love Lawrence Fishburne. This movie, like, shit, yeah, that sounds awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Not realizing that both of them were in the movie for, like a day. Like, they barely in the movie at all. Bill Paxton is in it for maybe a few scenes at the beginning, and then he disappears until he shows up towards the end, and he's in it for, like, a little bit, then he dies.
Yeah.
Spoiler. Lawrence Fishburne is in it at the beginning, and then he dies towards the middle. And not even the middle, like the first 20 minutes, 30 minutes of the movie, he's dead. Spoiler. And they only have one scene of screen time together.
Yeah.
And we're like, so the problem, this becomes an issue as we get into the movie. So we're probably not going to talk about the movie plot straightforward like we usually do, because the plot of this movie is kind of basically so simple. The apocalypse has happened.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what caused it or anything of the sort. Really given very little description. Well,
I think it's the weather machines, isn't it?
The weather machines have something to do with it, but like I said, we're not really given enough time to have context for any of these things.
And the only time they really give any allusion to what it does is when they're traveling through it, and the young kid, the red shirt, says
the red shirt, yeah.
He may as well have been. I knew immediately. I was like, well, I know which one's not going to make it. You know,
that guy. Yeah.
Yep.
Which of these people was not on the cover poster?
Exactly. I was like, man, that's the most red shirt way of like bringing a dude on, because you don't see him much before that happens, and then he's like, I'll go, and it's like, oh, you're doomed.
Doomed to die.
Yep. But just once I'd like a movie to where that doesn't happen, you know? But where you're introduced to someone and they make it all the way through. That'd be kind of nice. But they're going to they're walking, and they get to that like weather modification station or whatever.
Yeah.
And Lawrence Fishburne says it's done all its damage already or something like that. Yeah. So my thinking is that it was a answer to something global warming or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you've put more thought into this movie than they did. I'm gonna stop you right there. So yeah, basically whatever happens has led to another ice age, and it's cold outside, don't you know? You better put on a coat.
Baby, it's cold outside?
Baby, it's cold outside. Yeah. So they are freezing.
That's our link to the holidays. That song is "Baby, It's Cold Outside."
It is. It's very cold outside here, and so they are. Yeah, it's cold out. There's this colony. There's several colonies. Mm-hmm. Kind of think of them like not unlike the Fallout shelters in Fallout. Although we only ever see the one colony in operation, the other one we visit is completely destroyed and everyone's dead or turned, as we find out, into ferals. Which I guess are like vampire cannibals who get very little characterization.
Yeah, I guess they're just cannibals, but they've like rapid encephalopathy, whatever.
They act like vampires, but with the subtitles, it's straight from the script, and the subtitles very clearly call them ferals.
Yeah, and
so I guess they're not vampires, because that would be too close to 30 Days of Night.
It would be. They do this thing. And this, I'll probably bring it up again just because I hate it, but sort of. But it's this thing when you want to show a human character is bestial of some kind, just have them breathing heavy in their throat, you know, like and it's like, come on, man, animals don't do that, like, you know. So
that's basically the premise of the movie. that's the general setup, and then there's an elaborate way we get to the Ferals interacting with the colony.
Yeah,
that involves members of the colony going out to do like a scavenger hunt for some stupid bullshit. And
so
along the
they
way,
got that. Yeah, there was and we kind of get a little bit
thing
of
or something, right?
Yeah, well, we get a little bit of like whenever our main guy, what's his name, Kevin.
That's the name of the actor. I don't know.
That's the name of the actor. I've already forgotten the name. I forgot
the name. I think his name is Sam in the movie.
Sam.
I don't remember.
There we go.
I do not remember.
Interchangeable. So Sam, when he is with his lady Kai, who, by the way, says something that I was like, oh god, I would probably have married her. She says like, well, he says something about like leaving or whatever, and she's like, well, not a lot of other choices, so I guess you'll do. And I was like, damn it, that's exactly the mentality I would probably be attracted to. I'm so self-destructive like that, you know. So, but it ends up, I think she's kidding around. So, you know.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh god, a little painful. But she's talking about trying to catch these, like, she wants to see if someone's figured out a way. She's like, wait, she's looking at like satellite images, right? Yeah, because she's like, someone's gonna figure it out with how to fix these weather modification machines, and they're gonna do it. And so it's like, that's exacally what happens, you know.
Yeah. I wonder if that's gonna come back up. Lo and behold, it does.
You know what other movie this reminded me of? But it came out the same year. Snowpiercer.
Yeah,
but I think Snowpiercer. Yeah, but I think Snowpiercer executed it a lot more interestingly.
Oh, yeah. Snowpiercer is great. Yeah, Snowpiercer is great. This movie is very fair to middling.
Yeah.
So we meet the cast of characters, like you said. That's their relationship between them. The other relationship is between Lawrence Fishburne and Bill Paxton, who were the first, like, number 1 and number 2 in charge.
Yep.
Lawrence Fishburne's character is named Briggs, and Bill Paxton's character is named Mason.
Yep.
And Bill Paxton's character doesn't really have time for patience, and they have this kind of ritual. This is the only kind of characterization we get for the colony, is they have this, like, thing. This is the movie starting as well.
Yeah.
Where if someone does something and they get, like, ostracized, they have the opportunity to walk into the wasteland. Or they can get shot.
It's if they get sick, because apparently they had a flu that wiped a bunch of them out. And so now anytime anybody gets sick, they'll put them in quarantine, they'll give them a test, they'll give them a chance to either walk or take the bullet.
But he's getting tired of these fucking tests.
Yeah, he's like, this is just wasting time, and it's just making us worse. You know, it's like we're getting sick because we're letting this happen. So
now, you might be wondering, why is Bill Paxton feel this way? What is his motivation?
Yeah, I do wonder.
I have no fucking clue. And this is why he makes we're a terrible villain, is because he's just like, yeah, fuck these tests, and he starts killing people later on. But we don't really know why he feels the way he does. And even the movie points it out later. At the end of the movie, Sam is like, Mason, why are you doing this? What happens when you kill everyone? You're king of shit mountain? And he just is like, well, yeah.
I'll still be the king. You know?
Like, what the fuck are you, like, that's literally your argument. It's like, I want to be the king of my shithole.
Yeah, it's like,
I don't care that it's a shithole.
Yeah.
I want to be the king of my shithole. Like, God, you're an uninteresting villain.
Exactly. It's like, okay,
so
you're this way because
movie.
It does, because it's like, oh, you're a bad guy because the script needs a bad guy. I get it.
Exactly. The script needed a bad guy, because otherwise we couldn't explain how the Ferals were going to make it here. Like, it'd be fun thing if like he was working with the Ferals, or Lawrence Fishburne killed his wife, or something, some kind of motivation for why he was acting the way he is, and why
because
he wants this power that he wants so desperately.
Because later on,
he is the way he is.
Once they kind of explain, or once they see the Ferals for the first time, Lawrence Fishburne explains how they ended up at this colony, because that was kind of a situation they went through, and him and Bill Paxton left and made to make sure something like that wouldn't happen again. And it's like, what changed? It sounds like he was pretty on board with that, you know?
Yeah, it seems like there was a lot cut out of this movie. Either that or this movie was written to be a TV movie, and there would be like a commercial right there. Because like there's a lot of like, yeah, that happens, and then we just cut to like, well, the next thing is happening is that terrible CGI bridge shot, of which takes up a good portion of the movie, is this fucking awful CGI bridge shot. The CGI in this movie is pretty bad.
It's pretty bad.
It makes blatant use of it. The also really bad thing in this movie is the fight scenes, of which there are a couple.
Yeah.
There's like 3 or 4 different fight scenes, and they all look like shit.
Oh, no.
The director does not know how to film fight scenes.
He's no John Woo.
No. The god-awful fight scenes. They just look they look murky and shitty, and you can't tell what the hell is going on or who's doing what.
I lost interest so fast because I was I mean, I know who's going to win, and I know how the outcome is. But this is getting me this really isn't getting me there, so hurry up.
Exactly.
You know?
So once they discover the Ferals, that's when Lawrence Fishburne decides he needs to kill himself on the bridge, this bad CGI bridge, which is clearly just a green screen.
Yep.
And he blows himself up, which doesn't really have the effect he's looking for, because it just slows the Ferals down, as they're still going to show up. How they crossed over with the bridge being blown up, I don't fucking know.
Yep, nope. It's just like...
We don't ever get that explained. They just did it. They figured it out somehow.
They don't see like a makeshift what am I trying to say? Just like
ice bridge or anything like that,
or debris being used,
debris or anything. Like they're not like, because there's like one feral who's like in charge. He's a really snazzy dresser.
He is. He looks like he's right out of 30 Days of Night, honestly.
He does look directly out of 30 Days of Night. He looks like he's from a different movie.
And with his sharpened teeth and everything.
He does look like a vampire as well.
Yes.
It's very like, are you a vampire? According to the script, but
it's...
yeah. I think... there's no scene of like him coaching everyone around, like pick up that lumber, build me a bridge, nothing. Like
no, because they seem like mindless.
Sam gets out, and then he gets to the colony, and the colony's like, "Oh, there's people coming," and he's like, "Oh yeah, there's people coming," and then like within 20 minutes, people are there, and it's like, "All right, well here we are."
So by this point, I guess we don't really know why or how it got to this way. We were told that they were supposed to stop Bill Paxton from doing his own thing here.
Yeah.
By force if necessary over the radio. And I don't know if that happened or not, because...
No, so one thing that I would like this movie to do is, when I think it should have done this, is while we're on the journey, because Lawrence Fishburne takes a group of the Red Shirt and Sam, like we talked about, and they go investigate this other colony that is having issues.
Yep.
While they're gone, we do not really hear much about what's happening back at home with Bill Paxton. It would have made a lot more sense for us to cut back and forth to Bill Paxton being a tyrant at the colony, like, you know, walking around boss, and just keep the same shit he does, like where he cuts everyone's rations in half.
Yeah.
Those who can't work will not eat, you know, things like that. Just have him doing that shit, but not all at the end of it. Like
give
he does,
it some
have him
weight.
doing it scattered throughout.
Yeah, like give it a little bit of gravitas. Give it a little bit of like, oh shit, this is happening. You know?
Yeah, because unfortunately, this movie is Bill Paxton not at his best. He doesn't really give a Bill Paxton-y performance here.
No.
Yeah, it's just kind of Bill Paxton in name alone. This is, like I said, towards the end of his life.
Yeah.
So I think he was doing the best he could here.
Then that's fair.
Definitely not the Bill Paxton that you would expect if you've seen like Near Dark or Predator 2 or Terminator or Weird Science or many of the other movies that we talked about earlier.
Yeah, right. He's one of the most charismatic.
His charisma is sorely missing here.
Yes,
sorely missing. So is Lawrence Fishburne's. Honestly, he's also just kind of sleepwalking through this movie.
He really is. He's not really, because the thing about Lawrence Fishburne is like he can play a leader.
He could. Which sucks because had either of them taken this material, which is quite honestly a little subpar. Yeah, it's B-level material.
I think they understood.
But they put on a little bit more gusto put in a more of like an interesting performance, a little more over the top, a little bit, just try something a little bit more than just phoning it in.
Right.
Then this movie could have at least been a little bit better than it is. Because as it is, it's just kind of, like we said, mid.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I mean, it honestly, as I watch it, it could have just not been Lawrence Fishburne and Bill Paxton. It could have easily just been people just some other character actor or something, You
could have very easily turned this into like a post-apocalyptic, like almost Shakespearean power struggle between these two different guys who both are leaders, who have very different viewpoints on how to lead.
Yeah.
And, the colony is forced to make a decision. One of them, Briggs, Lawrence Fishburne, has left and very well might be dead. And as we find out, is dead.
Yeah.
And his way of doing things is obviously not going to go forward. And then we're left with Bill Paxton, who's the next in charge, Mason, who has a very different, more of like an abrasive, a more fascist way of doing things.
Mm-hmm.
And his way is now kind of ushered in. But the movie doesn't give either of those worlds any time to breathe. It just kind of rushes through them so we can get to more of like the ferals jumping on people as we have more bad fight scenes.
I feel like we didn't need the ferals. The struggle...
They didn't need to be here at all.
No, the struggle between Lawrence Fishburne and Bill Paxton could have been a really interesting movie. Yeah, I don't know why they shied away from that. Like,
I think money. I think they probably couldn't afford to have both of them on set for that long together.
Okay.
I feel like this was both of them were like, we get them for a day. Like, you get Bill for a day. Like, all right, well, shit, how much can we film in a day?
Yeah, no, that makes all the sense in the world.
Because he never changes outfits.
Nope.
He always wears the same stuff. His performance is always the same.
Yep.
He's dead within a few scenes. He only interacts with Lawrence once, like we talked about.
And that
same thing with Lawrence Fishburne. He probably was there a little bit more than Bill Paxton.
Yeah.
But either way, both of them, you could probably film all of their scenes in like 4 days.
Absolutely. With that scene
save
where
yourself some money.
Yeah, really. The scene where Lawrence Fishburne confronts Bill Paxton at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Lawrence Fishburne just doesn't give any push at all.
No.
He's like, I'm just gonna fucking do it anyway. Fuck you. And he's like,
exactly.
Well, all right then. Well.
Yeah. So that's kind of like the conflict of the movie is there's not really much of a conflict of the movie, and it's just waiting for these ferals to show up to give some conflict to this movie, and then the movie ends. And let's talk about the ending, because that final fight scene is atrocious.
Oh God.
It looks awful, and then he wakes up at the end and he grabs his foot in the foot and he just keeps hitting him in the head again and again and again, and then he pushes on this like metal, like random metal scythe that they just happen to have. Until he beheads the guy.
I know it's fake, but I hate gore shit, so I had to look away on that one.
At this point, the movie is so unrealistic. It didn't take me out of it at all.
I shouldn't have been. Yeah,
so you're squeamish. It's okay. He beheads him, and then he gets up and walks away, and that's the movie ends.
Yeah, he grabbed the seeds. We didn't see him grab them, did we? Because
I don't think so.
No. And now here's one thing I'll say. I don't know if this is. I don't know what's wrong with my brain, but whenever he's beating on him like over and over and over again. I just remembered that skit or the sketch from Mr. Show with Bob and David where he's telling his buddies that he's engaged, and they all just start beating the shit out of him for some reason. And Bob's like, whenever he's like, "You guys just beat the shit out of me," and I was like, that's what I kept hearing in my head whenever he was beating on him. I was like, "You guys just beat the shit out of me.
You guys just beat the shit out of me." Yeah.
I don't know why I was like. And I guess because my mind was able to wander, because it was, it wasn't much of a scene.
No, but, yeah. And thankfully, I will say this movie, it's not very long.
It's not very long.
It could have easily been a TV show or TV movie, which is kind of what it seems like it was going to be filmed for, and like just with a little bit more of a budget.
It feels very sci-fi movie,
Yeah,
like
totally,
sci-fi TV movie. Yeah.
Totally. No. Speaking of which, that's what we're going to watch next week. So,
Hey,
final
right
thoughts
into
on. Thank you. Final thoughts on The Colony before we wrap up for this evening.
Oof, I don't know if we've really made it clear that, but I just think that we've been watching so many interesting movies lately, and then this gets kind of, I don't know, it's just kind of like just a space filler of a movie, at the time. They were just like, we got to build it. We have to make a movie. We've got this contract. We need to make this movie. Just throw something together, doesn't matter.
That's kind of what it feels like.
That's what it feels like. And it's, and like I say, not the worst movie I've ever seen. It's fine. I didn't struggle through it. It was just, I just knew exactly what was going to happen,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I, as a teacher, I could equate this movie to teaching passive voice.
Oh.
Nobody really wants to do it, but hey, if you got to fill a lesson, there's an easy one to go with.
Yeah.
It'll take an hour to talk about, and hey, you check mark on the board. You did that, and there we go. I think that's what this movie is. It's a check mark on an advertiser's or a company's board for the year of like, check, that one was done. There you go. It's not god awful. It's not so bad it's good. It's not so bad or it's like anything fun.
Yeah.
If it was, it would be cool. Like if Bill Paxton was hamming it up or if Lawrence Fishburne was hamming it up, this would have been something really fun to watch. We don't get any of that here.
No.
If this would have been like any kind of interesting story, that could have been fun. We don't get any of that here. It's derivative of things that were derivative of things that were derivative of other things that were derivative. So there's just kind of what happens when you get to derivative of derivative. It's not a bad movie. Lawrence Fishburne is fine. He's okay in it. He's not offensive. Bill Paxton is fine. He's not offensive in it. The surrounding supporting actors are fine. They're inoffensive. They're not bothering anybody.
No.
There's no one in the movie that's bad. There's no one in the movie that's really good or outstanding. And that's kind of where it leaves the movie us. Like, we don't really rate movies, but if we did, I would say this movie is a perfectly mid movie.
Oh, it's right down the middle.
Right down the middle. And offensive to everyone, right?
This might be the, if there's ever a hallmark for most average, this is it.
I had the idea of when we got to episode 100 to go back and like rank all of our previous 99 episodes.
Oh.
And at the top of that list would be like Fury Road.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
At the bottom of that list would be something like 2020 Texas Gladiators.
Right.
Right in the middle of that list, I think, will be The Colony. Like, that's like the litmus line of like the line of, if it's better than The Colony, if it's better than The Colony, then hey, it's at least like, it's
interesting
like a 6
enough.
out of 10.
Yeah.
It's interesting enough, yeah. Yeah, this is kind of what happens whenever I think you have no ideas and you have to turn in a project and you're just like, whatever, here you go. Like, what more do you want from me?
Yeah, like I saw this in a movie once. Let's do that.
I saw this. Yeah, 28 days later did jump cuts during fight scenes. I'll do that. That's fun. Yeah, 30 Days of Night did vampires. Let's do that. Yeah. That's fun.
Be like, don't make it too obvious. I'm starting to realize it's too obvious. Well, let's make them just regular guys. But we already got this teeth for this one. Well, we'll just give it to the one guy.
Also, we went like 50 minutes without ever talking about the fact that anytime they're outside, none of them have breath when they're breathing in the cold weather. So, which immediately lets you know that this movie was filmed in a green screen.
Yep.
And just bad CGI everywhere around you.
Couldn't. I was going to say you couldn't spring for CGI breath, but no, you probably couldn't.
No. Yeah, the few times they are outside for real, you can tell because they have breath. That's the only time that they were outside, which is like 3 times in the whole movie. So, well, next week we will continue our journey of kind of looking at Christmas frozen TV post-apocalyptic movies as we go 1 year into the future, 2014, as we look at Christmas Icestrophe. See y'all next week. Hot damn, college boy. Thank you so much for listening. Every single week we come back with a new movie about the end of the world, or a movie about the beginning of the end of the world, or what happens after the end of the world, or Maybe one day we just decide to watch Showgirls. Who knows? Right? But every week we are coming back, and thank you so much for stopping in this week and listening to the whole episode and hearing our thoughts on whatever train wreck of a movie I chose to force my friend to watch this week. I'm a good person like that. And thank you for also being a good person. There you go. If you want to be a really, really fucking cool person, which you obviously are, why don't you give us a like and actually, more importantly, give us a subscribe. I find that to be more important. I don't know if the algorithm says it is. I don't really give a shit. But thank you for your patronage either way and clicking all the things and doing all the stuff. Bye. Thanks.